This is an update on the status of my 1/200 scale Iowa from Trumpeter that I've been building on. I took a break from it for a while and been getting back into it recently. So what I've got here is I have all these little radar units done, and these things are all going to go up on the ship in various places. And there's supposed to be 4 of them, but I have a bunch of them here that I got from a 3D printing company online. What else have I done? More update stuff. The main turrets have been done for a long time. I just put them on the ship here. I've been adding railing and ladders like along the sides here. And let's see, yeah, along the sides here I put railing and started painting on them. There's more ladders that go in places. I've done a few ladders inside the superstructure there. The main conning tower is all pretty much done. Got the radar unit on top. Gun director unit. All the antennas are on, these tall antennas, the rabbit ears. Smokestacks are all on. Oh, and I also have, let's go up to the front here. I also have, the front of the ship is, except for the railing, is pretty much complete. I have the anchor chain in, all the guns, all the gun tubs. They're all done. I still have to add the anchors themselves, which will go right there in the front, obviously. So, that's the status on the Iowa right now. Just about all the main plastic components to this model are done. And really what's left to do is a lot of little things that have to do with Photoshop, photo etch. Railings and a few more ladders here and there. I think there's a couple of hose reels I have to put together. So yeah, the main part of this ship is done. You're not seeing it on here, but I have all the 5-inch gun emplacements are done too. Let me see if I can grab one. Let's see. Yeah, let's put this one right here. Yeah, there we go. There's one of the 5-inch gun emplacements. I have those all done. I just have them off the ship right now because I don't want them to get in the way of all the railing I've been putting on. You know, it's better to leave things like this off so they're not in your way. So that's about it for now. And my next video, I will have most of the railings done. Oh, the other thing I have done too, pardon my reach here, get over here, is the airplanes. Here's the airplanes. They are completely done. I'm not going to do any more to them. I've painted them. I put all the decals on them. They are ready to go onto the catapults right there. There's a little sled that has to be built that they sit on. Oh, never mind. Forgot. I put the sleds on them. They're right there. Yeah. So those are ready to go. And the crane that goes on the very back, it's done. But that's going to be one of the last things I put on because it'll be sticking up quite a bit in the rear here. And I don't want to accidentally snap that thing. That would be disastrous. There is going to be there might be a couple things up in front here that have to go on besides railing. I'll have to look. But yeah, there it is. Getting close to being done. All right. So what has to happen here in step 46 is these platforms that hang off the side of the superstructure. I have this one on here, and I have the others finished on the other side. But this is the longest one, the biggest one, and what it does is it kind of plugs into the side here, right here. So it's going to plug in right there, like that, and then it's going to have these supports. I see how this one has these two supports there. This longer one's going to have 6 of those poles, those support columns. And so what I'm going to do is glue those support columns, get this thing to focus, right there in those holes in the deck. Going to put those support columns in there and glue them so that they lay straight up and down. And then once those are totally glued and set up, I will lay the platform down on the side there, and hopefully they'll won't get knocked over, and I just kind of glue the whole thing in place like that, and we'll get that done. And then there's another small one that goes, let's see, is it right here? There's another small one that goes, let's see, where does that thing go? There's a smaller one that goes right over here. Oh, right here. There's another small platform that goes right there. So I got these two to put on, and they're all going to get little 20 millimeter Oerlikon anti-aircraft guns on them with ammo boxes. So I'm going to work on those. Alright, I have the small platform glued in place and the long, bigger platform glued in place. And once the glue all sets up on this, you can see the holes down there. This is where all the anti-aircraft guns are going to go, in those holes. And then those holes, smaller holes back there on the deck. There's going to be 1, 2, 3 ammo boxes there. And on this one there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 ammo boxes on this one. I'll have to touch that up with some paint right there. It kind of messed it up right there with the gluing, but no big deal. That'll look all right. Yesterday I worked on some of the railing, and right there I got that railing in right there. Up there some railing. I think this is all the railing I got done yesterday on this side of the ship. And on the other side I got a bunch more railing done. So, like I said, we'll let the glue set up on these platforms, and then we'll come in and start laying the guns in there. All the platforms are now done and painted. This is the pile of 20 millimeter Oerlikon guns and their photo etch pieces that attach to them. And this, like all the other guns I've made that are already on the ship in various places, like right there, And let's see, where else do I have them on here? Well, anyway, there's some right up. Where are they? Right there, there. They're kind of scattered around. There's a whole bunch on the deck right there. That's how they're supposed to come out, with the shields on the front like so. So what I have to do is clean these up a little bit and attach all those shields to them. And that involves CA glue, of course. Then once those are all together, they get glued onto the platforms where all those holes are right there. There's 5 that go there and 2 that go there. And I've got more than that sitting here, but I just grabbed them all and figured to make them all up. Okay. Well, the pile is smaller and the guns are on the platform with their ammo boxes. So all 5, 6, 7 of these guns are now on there. So the gun platforms on both sides of the ship are now complete. And I'll just go ahead and paint these up and we'll be done with them. Then we can move on to something else that needs to be done. There's plenty more to do. There's a lot of railing that go in a lot of these places here that I need to work on. So we'll start working on that next after I paint these things. Well, now we see the platforms with the Oerlikon anti-aircraft guns on top of them, mounted on them, and the ammo boxes. This is how they sit in there. And it came out okay. When I pull back, you can see the full effect of them sitting there. There is so much busyness on this ship. It's hard to focus on one thing when you get back like this. But there are virtually hundreds of guns, anti-aircraft guns, all over this thing. Mostly gathered around the central superstructure parts, but then they also mounted them along the deck in places. You can see it right here, lots of these same anti-aircraft guns mounted all the way back at the very stern. So any airplane that tried to approach this ship or the Missouri or the others like this in this class would have to face a formidable curtain of anti-aircraft fire that most of the time would bring them down quickly. And you can see on the bow they even have 2 types. You've got the Bofors and you've got the Oerlikons. So here's where we're at. And as I continue on this model, I am going to be adding more and more railings. There are very, very few plastic parts left to put on this ship model. The main guns are all done at, like I said, and the 5-inch guns are done also. So we just mainly have photo etch railing to finish this off. Railing and some ladders. I am continuing to add railings. I've got quite a bit done here in this upper superstructure on this one side of the ship. I still have railing to put here. As you can see, I have it on the other side, so I have to put it here. There's going to be a piece here and here and here, and then continued on back into these areas here. I've got railing done up there on the top portions. Behind the smokestack. So I'm just going to continue proceeding with this section right here. Okay, so I have most of the railing and ladders attached to the superstructure. Right in there, I still have to put that railing in right there, and I have that right here. I'm bending that up right now for that spot. I also have these little platforms that have railing on them. I just installed one right here in the front portion of the ship near the bow. It's like a little platform that sticks over the edge of the ship. So I just stuck that on. Right here at the base of this mast on the rear funnel, there's going to be a little bit of railing that goes right there on that platform also. And then, excuse me, and then I have all the rest of the railing that goes around the entire outside edge of the ship. So I have all of that, and that is provided right here in these frets. There's two. This is all railing for the outside diameter of the ship. Doesn't focus very well when it's in a plastic bag, but there it is. That's going to go around the entire outer edge of the hull, where the hull meets the deck. Now it's going to be interesting because if you notice all around the edge of this deck, there are a lot of tie downs and bollards and little cranes and gun tubs, and there's a lifeboat right here. This is a lot of things on the edge that this railing has to work around, or yeah. So that means as I'm going along putting all the railing on the outside edge here of the ship, I will be cutting it apart in places. There won't be very many long runs of railing. Right there's going to be one long run. Back here at the stern area, there's going to be a long run of railing. A little bit of a long run there by the catapults. But the rest of it is all kind of going to get chopped up to fit in between all this stuff. So that's going to be real time consuming and fiddly and kind of a challenge. Now the same thing happened up here up on the superstructure, but these pieces of railing here I didn't have to cut up. They already come in the right lengths for these spots on the frets. They already come in the right lengths on the frets. So you basically cut them off the frets, bend them, glue them in place. My photo etching skills are not the best, so some of these railings got kind of a little tweaked and bent a little bit. The ladders didn't line up perfectly. But you know, not bad for an old guy like me, I guess. A lot of big long ladders that go up the main tower here. So anyhow, that is where I am at right now. Okay, so I'm putting the railing on the outside edges of the ship. And the photo edge fret comes like this, and these big long pieces, which is fine. However, they have to be cut up into sections to fit around all this stuff. It's already on the edge of the ship. All the gun tubs and tie downs and bollards and whatever else these things are called. So I'm working on the left side here of the ship, which is the starboard side, I think. Anyway, I've got quite a bit done. I'm working my way around. Like right there's going to be a small section. There's one long section right here. Then I'll have the whole the right side of the port side of the ship to do. All the railing is done. The ladders are done on the superstructure. Okay, here is the USS Iowa in 1/200 scale, and it is done. It has a couple of coats of clear sprayed on it now. I don't have the skills or the dexterity or the patience to put full rigging on this ship. But everything else is done. Even got the decals on it. Put a little flag in the bow of the ship. Now I'm sure there's somebody out there that's built this ship and has probably done a much better job than me. Did it a lot more accurately. But you know, this is mainly just for fun. I'm not going to enter any contests or magazines or anything like that. It was just a nice, fun model to work on for the most part. The only real part of this model that was hard was all the railing I had to put on. All the photo etch railing. There's just so much of it. I had to do it in sections and over a few days. Basically, I worked almost a whole week on putting the rest of the railing on this thing. All the railing that goes around the edge of the ship, where the deck meets the hull. Probably 4.5, 5 days this last week was devoted to attaching railing. I did a few little bits of touch-up painting here and there. There was a couple little tiny pieces of plastic I had to put on. But there it is, it's all done. Trumpeter did not include a stand for this ship model. Right now I've just got a couple of pieces of styrofoam it's sitting on. And I think eventually I'm going to make some kind of a stand for this thing out of wood. You know, a couple blocks of wood and carve out a little cradle part in it and stain it. Would have been nice if they included a stand with it, but that's okay. So there she sits. The USS Iowa in 1/200 scale by Trumpeter. This is the result of working on it for 1 year. And I've got it done. Thanks for watching this final part of the build process. And you all have a good day.